The man who confessed to killing his parents and two of their friends in Bowdoin and wounding 3 people in a highway shooting in Yarmouth has been sentenced to life in prison.
35-year-old Joseph Eaton pleaded guilty today to murder and other charges. He previously had entered an insanity defense, but withdrew it late last year.
Family members of the victims gave emotional testimony before sentencing, and Eaton apologized to them. The April 2023 crimes took place just days after Eaton had been released from a Maine prison on unrelated charges.
According to his attorney, Eaton chose to plead guilty, believing it was the reasonable and moral thing to do.